Hi everyone, it's Plumb here to share another scrapbook process video with you. Today's layout that I am sharing was not created for any particular design team. It was actually just created for me. Now, people that have been watching my channel for a while may recall that last year, sort of the middle of last year, I actually took the plunge and subscribed to the hip kit, something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And then life dished me up a few curveballs. We ended up moving house. My craft stuff was packed away for quite some time. And it's only now that the rush of Christmas is over that I am actually starting to find some time to be able to create for myself. So I decided to start cracking open some of these kits that I've got that have stacked up and do some creating with them. So the kit that I actually have here was from August 2021, and it is the main scrapbook kit only. I didn't purchase any additional embellishments for any of the kits while I wasn't actually scrapping because I didn't want too much stuff piling up. So I just kept my subscription to the main kit only going, and yeah, this is me getting stuck into it. So I decided to create a mixed media layout for this. Now, I also did not create this layout while I was at home at my own desk. If you saw my previous video, which was created for Cocoa Vanilla, you'd know that I actually did that at my sister's house. And I created this one on the same weekend. So I am not at my regular desk. I am actually in my sister's study at this one. So if you notice any issues with light or whatever, my apologies, but I didn't have my usual setup and I just had to wing it. But as I said in my last video, I figured it was better off to have light going a little bit funny and be able to record my process than do nothing at all. So here we go. So I started this one out with some 300 GSM smooth white cardstock. I had some acrylic paint. That one there is a Montmartre Dimensions paint. The colour is not black. It's actually Payne's Grey, which is a very, very dark grey. It's a charcoal sort of colour. And I just used the dry brush technique to brush some of that roughly over my background. I then went in with a small rose stencil. Now, the reason I chose this stencil was actually because of my jacket that I was wearing in the photos. And that stencil is a 6x6 and it's from Stencil Girl. And the medium I was using with that is some Colour Blast by Beati white colour paste. So it's actually got a bit of a sparkle to it. It's very pretty when it dries, and because the Stencil Girl stencils are not too thick, it allows you to put a nice sort of thin application, and the colour paste dries fairly quickly. It required a little bit of time with the heat gun, but not much. So the reason I chose that colour is because I wanted something that would be visible over the acrylic paint, but I did not want it to sort of stand out and take over the layout. So you can see here that the photos I'm actually documenting for this one are of me. These photos were taken in the middle of last year when I just got home from the hairdresser, because these photos are all about my hair. And let's face it, your hair will never look any better than that moment when you walk out of the hairdresser. It doesn't look that good again really until the next time you go to the hairdresser. The point of these photos was that I have been blonde all of my life, pretty much all of my life, and I actually decided to go brunette when I was at the hairdresser this day. So I took some photos of my hair when I got home, and this was me, what I jokingly referred to as joining the dark side. I have since gone a lot darker, but yeah, this was my transition into joining the dark side. So I actually attached that series of photos, the three of them together. I actually just stuck the back together with sticky tape in the positions that I wanted them. I've added some cardboard to the back to help pop them up from the page. And then I got to work with the patterned papers. Now, there is a huge variety of brands in this kit that I was working with, not just in terms of paper, but also in terms of embellishments. There was Vicky Booten stuff, there was Paige Evans stuff, Amy Chan, Simple Stories, Prima. There was some Hip Kit exclusive paper. But yeah, it was a real mishmash of brands. So it was a fun one. It's pretty varied, this kit. I can see I'm going to have fun getting stuck into it. As I said, this was my first foray into it. So I had started with that anchor piece. I chose the B side of that paper because I wanted that sort of soft peach color just to back my photos, because I had that dark background behind me in the photos. I wanted the contrast of a light color behind the dark background in the photos. I've also added a charcoal paper doily there. I've also added some frayed gauze for texture. And then I've got a bit of that black and white sort of sketchy floral that I have tucked in under the top and bottom of that anchor piece. And I've just ruffled along the edges, distressed and ruffled along the edges, just to give that a bit of texture as well. Now, I took that beautiful floral paper from Vicky Booten's Colour Study collection off to fussy cut some of the flowers. And again, I was sticking with warm tones. So I wanted anything that was sort of red and orange, along with neutrals, so black and white. I wanted to keep the colour palette fairly limited, just to make sure that those photos really sort of stood out from the page, because it's quite busy when you have 3 photos along like that. So I'm going through here with those fussy cut flowers and finding the right place for them. I'm just tacking them down with a bit of Scotch tacky glue and bending up the edges of the petals away from the page for yet more dimension on my page. I tend to do this with most flowers and leaves and things like that I adhere onto my layouts. I do like to bend them up away from the page just to give it a bit more interest. So here I am, I've got my photos down, I've got my main papers down, I've got those flowers in place, and now it was really a matter of just digging through these embellishments to see what I was going to use. Now, the problem I had was, given that I had already decided to work with these warm colours and these warm colours only, I really did limit myself with the embellishments. The theme of my photos didn't really work with the theme of the embellishments in this die cut ephemera pack, which was from Simple Stories, because they were all summer themed. So you can see that I've grabbed out that little die cut that says "Hello Summer," and I tucked it in such a way that you could not read the word summer, so it said hello. And then it was my intention to use those Simple Stories foam alphas to add the word hair. Now, I did find this foam sticker here, which was from I think they're Amy Chan, those stickers, and it said smile, so I thought I'd pop that along the bottom edge of my photos. You can see I had only a few little die cuts from that Simple Stories ephemera pack that actually worked with the colour palette that I had chosen to work with. So I just stuck those few little bits and pieces on. On the desk there, you can see that I also have a pack of Prima Crystals. They're really cute, actually, although I would have loved them a lot more if there was some smaller sizes. They were a little bit larger than I like to work with. You know, when I work with like enamel dots, I like those really tiny little ones as well. So they were a little bit larger, but you'll see I got some of them on there and I made them work. Here I am adding those, about to add those foam letters on just to complete my title, which is Hello Hair. Just deciding on the best placement for that. And you can see my frayed gauze was getting caught on the alphas. I was just looking for a sort of higgledy-piggledy type layout for these alphas, because you can see that I didn't run my photos in a perfectly straight line. I didn't want to run the alphas in a perfectly straight line either. These little crystals, as I said, I would have liked them better if they were in a smaller size. The other problem I had with them is the little glue dots that were on the back of them. I found that when I picked them off the packaging with my nail, that my nail was sort of dislodging the glue dots from where they were supposed to be sitting, and I was getting irritated because, like I said, I'm not the most patient scrapper in the world and I don't like it. So next time I think I would probably pick them off with tweezers as opposed to sticking my fingernail underneath. And that was pretty much my layout. I added my journaling, some stamping, and oh, that's right, I added on some splatters using Distress Oxide because I just wanted to pop a little bit more red onto that page. And that was pretty much it. If you have any questions about this layout, I hope I'll get some more content out to you soon. Pop your questions in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.